Hey everybody, welcome back to Battle Ready Inc. So today I'm going over my Imperialdramon list. I think this is going to be probably one of the top 2 best decks of 1.5. This thing is going to make some waves for sure, and I'm super excited to play it. Vemon is just one of those classic Digimon that a lot of older fans just absolutely flock to. He was super cool, and we finally get him into our game, and I'm super ready to play him. Unfortunately, we don't have Digi Armor yet, but I got a feeling it's coming. Maybe set 6, we might finally get some Digi Armor, and I'm ready. Okay, I am ready. That is what game mechanic I'm very interested to see how they do with it. But until then, we're gonna have to just make do with this awesome deck. I mean, we have DNA Digivolving to its max. Okay, we don't have the final form yet, but that also probably pretty soon. All right, enough about rambling about what's to come though. Let's look and see what we have. I will start out by saying my deck is a little bit more unconventional than what others have been putting out. However, mine is more closely ties in to when set 3 released in Japan, how those decks looked. Okay, so that's what mine reflects a little more closely to what those were. Because essentially that's exactly what we're gonna have. When set 1.5 comes out, that'll put us on par with set 3. Okay, and when Japan released set 3. So going right into it, we've got Upamon down to 1 in a blue deck. Just absolutely mind-blowing, right? But to be fair, it's okay because their other egg gets us draw power 2, as well as we have other draw mechanics, which is really nice. We've got more ways to draw than just Gomon and Upamon now, so we've got more ways, which is really, really important. All right, so for those unaware, Upamon is just when you declare an attack on your turn and they have a Digimon with no Digivolution sources, you get a draw. It's kind of difficult to really kind of trigger that. It's a lot more inconsistent, which the Demi-Vemon here that we've got coming along now is when attacking once per turn, if this Digimon has jamming, trigger, draw 1. This whole deck is all about attacking with our jammers. So triggering this is super easy. I mean, literally you just Digivolve the Vemon here with jamming, and you just go to town. I mean, just instantly off to the races. There's no setup involved. You don't need to trash Digivolution sources like you would need with Upamon. Nope, you just get a go. That's so great. Super, super awesome. Super easy to trigger draw 1. So drawing is going to be a lot easier now than it even was before. And that's crazy because drawing was really easy in blue. That's what made blue Omnimon so much better than red Omnimon, just because blue was way more consistent with its draw power as well as its memory gaining abilities. So now we're just even better at that. All right, jumping over next, I will just touch on this Vemon first since I mentioned it. He's our first jamming Digimon that we have. This deck is all about jammers, okay? Attacking into security and not dying to bigger Digimon, which is a big factor in attacking into security. Even with red, if you follow my my budget series, I get really nervous attacking into a lot of security just because you never know when you're going to lose like your level 6 megas, and then being able to just attack in with a Vemon, oh man, that's so great. What are they going to do? Activate their Gaia Force on your rookie? Ooh, that really sets me back, you know. Not at all. Literally 0 evolution cost there, so that's awesome. Jumping back here though, we've got the other Vemon. I'm only running this one at a 2 of, okay? His effect is your turn, once per turn, when this Digimon becomes unsuspended, I can words, during your main phase, trigger draw 1. The only reason I'm running this at 2 of is because really the only way to trigger this well is with Imperialdramon. There is one other way, and we'll get to that one, was with X-Vemon. X-Vemon also is a level 4 that when you Digivolve, if you can unsuspend it. So that's one other way to get, but it's just a draw. Okay, it's a draw 1 for that. Is it necessarily a must? Not exactly. just because you're going to be triggering the Demi-Vmon pretty much constantly. Demi-Vmon, you're just going to draw. So getting this Vmon is slightly less important. However, you can bump this up to 4 and take away from other areas, and I'll cover that too. That's just one ratio that you might change. I prefer not to, because I think the deck has plenty of other ways to get really good draw power going, and I'm more worried about the efficiency in the combos instead of just draw power. So got the Vmon there. Next we got the Gomon, the gain 1 memory on deletion. Just what a great Digimon. Some people aren't playing this one. I don't know why, really. Only thing I could think of is they're thinking that with having jamming, they're never going to die. And that couldn't be further from the truth. Especially, like, putting this underneath a blocker, just so much more value on your blockers. It makes them even more likely of people not wanting to attack because they don't want to lose 1 memory or you gain 1 memory. Just so much more impactful. Going back and looking at the successful Japanese release successes for this deck, Gomon was in all of those decks. Okay, so I think he's definitely a must add a 4-up. That gain 1 memory on deletion, inheritable for any of your Digimon that's on top of him. That's just so good, so good. This has come up so many times already in 1.0. It's just a huge. It's like not running Hammer Spark. You don't want to do that. Moving on from there, I've got the 4 Electmons. Okay. And this is one of those parts where I was talking about you could maybe change the ratios up. You could drop the Electmons down to 2 and put the Vmons up to 4 if you wanted. Or you could drop the Gomons down. You could like run 3 Gomons, 3 Electmons, and 4 Vmons. Just different ways. The only one that's like a hard you must run 4 of is this Vmon with jamming. Okay, this is the must right here. Absolutely 100% 4 of. No questions about it. So 4 Electmons, just because that 0 evolution, 2 drop. I feel like you really want to at least have 4 2-drop rookies in your deck. Okay, whether you're running 2 different ones like 3 and 3 and running a total of 6 of them, or whatever. I think it's important to at least run some of them. Moving on from there, though, this is kind of where I guess my deck differs from other people. This section here. I've got the Frigimon that has jamming. All right, 2 evolution cost, right? Jamming. You put it on top of an Electmon, or again on top of a Gomon, whatever, and boom, you have a jamming that didn't previously have jamming. So just getting more different ways to have jamming on your field. 2 of evolution isn't anything crazy. A level 4, that's pretty normal to have a 4 cost. Also, a play cost of 4. I mean, this guy's on par with several rookies for this play cost. This is a pretty low play cost for a level 4. And it has jamming, so the DP doesn't even matter because you're going to be attacking into security with it anyways. So, yeah, he's pretty solid. I think he's definitely the one that I would prefer over the XVmon, and I'll go into why I don't run the XVmon. Next is the Gorillamon. This is just for efficiency, honestly. You're going to be just going on top of this guy with your level 5s. Your level 5s is where the deck really starts to stand out and really starts to shine. So being able to get into those extra easy with on top of this guy with his level 1 evolution, easy call to make. Next is our blocker standard. You're going to want to have 4 blockers. It just keeps your opponent in check. If they've got a bunch of rookies out on field, especially jamming rookies, just having a single blocker really makes them hesitate on just swinging in wildly with all their rookies. Purple as well. Purple does a lot of rookie shenanigans, okay? They like to just get free value off of stuff like Tapirmon for that draw factor. So just having a single blocker on field just makes them step back and reevaluate the situation and just kind of keeps them at bay, okay? So I love 4 of blockers, the level 4 blockers in every deck I play, just for that specific reason. It keeps your opponent honest. All right, next up, we got our level 5s here, and this is where it gets really cool. So first up, we got Peldrimond, or Peldrimond, sorry. He can evolve from a blue or a green, which is cool. In this, not really a factor. You're going to be going on top of blues. All of our level 4 and below is all blue. He has jamming as well. So again, you can drop this guy on top of like a Gorillamon that didn't have jamming, or if you're just ready to go into super aggro mode, you can drop it on top of your blocker, you know, and then just start swinging with this guy. Great stuff. Also, inheritable here when attacking. Once per turn, if this Digimon has Imperialdramon in its name, unsuspend it. So that's just, this is great. Okay, I'll come back to this. I don't want to over-explain it yet without explaining the rest of it. Next up, we have Dinobemon here, which is our other level 5. Again, same Digivolving criteria here. We can go on top of a blue, level 4, and that's pretty much all you're ever going to go on top of. And it has piercing and jamming. So, again, we play into that jamming aspect of it, and it has piercing, which is cool. I mean, it's a pretty standard green thing to have, is a lot of piercing. So, not a whole lot of DP, so you got to be kind of cautious what you know, attack over. At least at 7,000 DP, we can hit over other blockers, all those level 4 blockers out there. We can swing over those, no problem, and get the piercing in the process. And not only do we get the piercing, but that piercing has the jamming protection on it also. That's a really nice, nasty combo right there. Really, really like that. Next up is our linchpin. This is our whole strategy in this deck right here, is the Imperialdramon Dragon mode. When one of your Peldrimond or Dinobemon would Digivolve into this card in your hand, reduce the memory cost of the Digivolution by 2. So turns this disgusting, terrible level 5 or 5 cost memory down to a level 3, which is pretty standard for a good level 6. So a level 6 with an ability and solid DP, 3 memory cost evolution is completely normal. Okay. Next, we got jamming. Okay, more jamming. Awesome, cool. And then this next part, this is what just brings it all together. This is what makes the whole deck just, you know, pop. When Digivolving, unsuspend all Digimon with jamming. So you Digivolve into this guy and just unsuspend everything with jamming, including itself. So, ready to hear those combos? If you're not aware of the combos yet, then this is probably going to blow your mind a little bit. If you are aware of it, that's probably why you're here. It's because you're like, oh yeah, Imperialdramon's gonna be some nasty, really cool combo stuff here. All right, so we got a Peldrimond here that can go on top of any blue. Great stuff. Peldrimond and Dinobemon, both of our level 5s, okay, are what is needed to reduce the Imperialdramon cost. So reducing his cost to 3 will always be able to be triggered, because the only thing he can Digivolve in the entire deck is one of those two. So, and considering the other one is a green, not an issue, because we can go right on top of blue. Works out so perfectly. It just completely meant to be here. Also, so this is just nuts. Okay, so you have your Peldrimond, right? You attack with your Peldrimond, right? You got jamming. Boom. That's one attack. Digivolve him into Imperialdramon. Imperialdramon's effect unsuspends him, right? Because you Digivolved on top of a suspended Peldrimon that just attacked. And he now has jamming, so his own ability unsuspends himself. Cool. Attack again with Imperialdramon, now with jamming, into security. Awesome. Your inheritable from Peldrimond kicks in. When attacking once per turn, if this Digimon has Imperialdramon in its name, unsuspend it. So you unsuspend again, and you attack again with jamming. That's 3 attacks in one go. Now, mind you, that's not 3 security checks, right? That's 3 just attacks. Do you see, like, the benefits of that, where that's so much better than just having bonus security attack? You know, nothing in here has security attack bonus, right? That's just because you get to just keep attacking. And what's nice about that, say your opponent has 2 security left, you get to do those 2 attacks, and then you get attack for game after that. Whereas if you just had security attack plus 2, it's wasted, because you swing, you get only your regular attack, and then one of those 2 security check bonuses, and then the third one is just lost. But with this, just being able to consistently attack over and over, there's no drawback. That's what's so great, is there's just, you get multiple attacks off, which helps guarantee you just win, okay? Just so good. Also, if you're, say you got that bonus security attack, right, and they have a blocker, and you go to swing in, right, with your security attack +4 War Greymon, and then they block it, and then all that security attack is wasted. This guy, not the case. You just swing, unsuspend, swing, unsuspend, just nasty. So nasty. Just keep swinging. Great. But that's just if he's the only person on the field. If you just factor that in with any of these other guys, the Frigimon or the Vmon on field, and that's so much more. So you can, if you just had these three, a Frigimon, a Vmon, and Peldrimond on field, that's, oh man, how many attacks is that? That's 7 attacks, right? If you can't OTK your opponent with that, then I don't know what to tell you. So, because you attack with the Vmon and the Frigimon and the Peldrimond, right? You attack with all 3 of those. Then you Digivolve into the Imperialdramon. He unsuspends all 3 of them at once. So then you can attack with both of these guys again, and you can attack with the Imperialdramon and trigger the Peldrimond again, unsuspend, and attack with the Imperialdramon. So you get 2 attacks with him, right? 1 attack with the Peldrimond, and then 2 attacks with both of these guys. Ooh, man, that is some spicy, like, next level fucking, excuse my language, but that's some DPS there. That's raw, okay? You got nothing on red with that amount. The only problem is it's a bit of a setup, but even then, if you don't want to worry about all this setup, say you just, like, you know, first you attack with your Vmon, you did a security check there, then you Digivolved into your Frigimon, got a security check there, your opponent only has 3 security checks left, you know, then you go into your Peldrimond, and then he does a security check, you know, you're just doing this turn after turn, and by the time you get to that last turn of dropping the Imperialdramon, I mean, the game's over. I mean, the game is just over at that point, so that's just so much, and that's off of a single, like, Digimon chain, right? I mean, you're just going from baby into rookie. I mean, you're just going right up the chain. Each of them attacking 1 time, right? And you win the game. So, boom. What a great combo. The thing is, the deck doesn't even stop there. We can play Omnimon in this deck. Just cuz. Say you do all that, and for whatever reason, you just couldn't quite, maybe there's a couple blockers that got in your way or something. You just couldn't quite swing and take the game with that. And you've burned up all of your, you know, your attacks and everything, and your free unsuspends. Well, fine, we'll just drop an Omnimon right on top of our Imperialdramon, blow up something big, and then next turn you got 2 more attacks with Omnimon. His swing, bounce Imperialdramon back to hand, swing again with big old nasty 15k. Yeah, you don't really need jamming when you're just swinging with 15k, okay? So that's great. So getting to run Omnimon, I only got him at a 2 of, just because he's, one, you're only got a few things that you're going to be able to drop him on top of. So I only got him at the 2 of, and he's mostly there as an option card, not necessarily as a Digimon card. You're looking at just blowing something up. We don't have Gaia Force available to us, so as blue players, so we play Omnimons instead, and it gets the job done. Great card. Next, we've got Davis finally entering the scene here. Davis, he's our memory fixer, a new memory fixer over the mat, as well as on play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 blue and 1 green Digimon card among them to your hand, place the remaining cards on the bottom of the deck in any order. So, the way the rules work for Digimon is a little different from others. In normal games, or in other games, when it says and, you have to be able to do both of those to trigger the ability. In this one, it's and or, okay? So if you can add 2, awesome. If you can only add 1 of those, it's okay. It still works. So if you get a Dino Beamon off it, awesome. If not, not a big deal. The other one, you're pretty much always going to be able to add a blue Digimon. Out of 3 cards on top of your deck, you should be able to add a blue Digimon to your hand. So just adding the one you need, that's the important part. Say you flip over 3 blues, you get the most important one to your hand, and that's really good, as well as a memory fixer. but getting able to get double, ooh, that's really good. That's really nice if you can trigger both at the same time. Next is Hammer Spark. Definitely top 2 best options in the game. This and Gaia Force is just so good. Everyone else wishes they had a card like this. Just being able to gain 1 memory is just so good. If your opponent puts you at 2 and you need 3 to go into your Imperialdramon to do your nasty plays, right? You just play a Hammer Spark, boom, now you've got enough memory, and now you just go off and win the game. So good. Also, gain 2 memory and security. You know how often this card comes up in security? All the time. If you're playing against a blue player, I bet you in that match, right? Best 2 out of 3, Hammer Spark's going to be in there once, at least once. And if it doesn't pass your turn when you attack into it, I'll be surprised, because it pretty much always happens. Unless you attack in with like a War Greymon that nullifies option cards and security, you're probably passing your turn if you hit this guy. All right, it's just a gnarly card. All right, next up are tech cards, right? I put these 3 in there as these are the tech options you can play. You could run them at 2 of or 3 of. You could run them at 2, maybe bump the Omnimon up. Probably not, though. Not really a whole lot you could bump up. Maybe add in another Vmon. I wouldn't go more Davis at all. I think 3 of, just because the memory fixing, you only need 1 Davis to get that memory fixing, and he's a 4 play cost, so you really only want to play him 1 time. Just the 3 of makes him just really consistent, unless you just have no other plays and you're just trying to search and dig deeper and you want to play a second. So these guys are solid at 3 ofs. Honestly, you can play them at 3 ofs, not a big deal. Volcanicdramon, at least you can go Omnimon over it, so that's not so bad when you play this one. The Puppetmon's just really, really good, especially in a deck like this with that jamming. It's really aggressive. We're just attacking into security. We're not controlling the field. We're not controlling our opponent's field or anything like that. We're just shooting for face as fast as possible, you know, immediately trying to win the game as just early as possible. You don't want to go into any kind of grind game in this deck at all, because attrition is not your friend here. We just have no way of mitigating any damage coming into us aside from those 4 blockers. So Puppetmon is great because it just allows you to get that bonus turn in to swing for game. You just drop a Puppetmon, suspend, you know, whatever is left, a blocker, you know, it goes to their turn, then bounces back to you. Everything is suspended. This is when you go off, okay? You got to push for game at this point with all their stuff suspended. And that's what Puppetmon facilitates that really well. Also, I did want to go ahead and just put in the other Imperialdramon Dragon Mode. Yes, there is a second. In fact, he is a secret rare in the set, so a little harder to get a hold of than the regular Imperialdramon. But he's green. But again, it's not a big deal because we can go over a green or a blue, and we have both of those covered. He has the same effect of when digivolving on top of one of those level 5s, which we're playing both of the level 5s needed to trigger this. You reduce the memory cost down by 2. So same thing. He's a 3 memory to digivolve Digimon here. He has piercing, so again, he's a green Digimon. He's got that piercing ability, which is pretty cool. Also on your turn, once per turn, when this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle and survives, unsuspend this Digimon. So it is once per turn, so you can't just go nuts, right? Drop a Puppetmon one turn, right? Suspend everything, and then drop this guy the next turn, and then just clear their whole field. That would be gnarly. However, it is really nice in combination with that piercing. So you attack into something, destroy it, get the piercing check, so check a security, unsuspend because you destroyed something by battle, attack again, pierce through a second target, and check another security. Just really good. I think he just works really well with the deck. I think he's an easy include. You might do like 2 Puppetmon and 1 Imperialdramon green. It seems like a pretty good deal to me. If you just want to run 3 of one of these guys, you can do that. The Volcanicdramon is mainly here just because dealing with Rookie Rush. You never know when you got to deal with a Rookie Rush. If you, I say this in a lot of my videos. If your meta in your locals, it's just you see a lot of Rookie Rush players. Rookie Rush is cheap. It's affordable, so I don't necessarily knock it as a deck. If you just really want to play Digimon and you don't have a lot of money to spend on it, play Rookie Rush. It's very affordable. and it wins. Okay, it does win. So might not be a bad idea to have some Volcanic Dramon in your deck if that's a big problem where you're at. If not, yeah, the Puppetmon at a 2 of and the Imperialdramon green at a 1 of, pretty good. If you want to go more Imperialdramon green, you know, in only one Puppetmon, you can do that. You know, 2 and 1, whatever. Just different options. I wanted to have all 3 of these at the end here just to kind of show, you know, what you could do. You could even maybe drop 1 Davis, so Davis goes down to 2. You could play 2 and 2. That would be pretty good. That would be a pretty cool setup as well. Just different ways you can work these ratios, and they're all really, really good no matter what you choose. I think this deck is going to be a lot of fun. This is the deck that my wife is going to be playing when she gets old. This and Ulforce. She's bouncing back and forth between the two. She mainly just wants to play Vmon because Vmon's her favorite. And 2 different decks styles that are both really good. That's pretty lucky. I mean, I'm kind of jealous. I wish I had that with my favorite Digimons, but I've just got the one, so I'll be playing that. And all you Vmon fans out there, enjoy your 2 decks for 1.5 that are both a lot of fun and really, really cool. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and comment, as well as subscribe if you haven't already. If you enjoy this type of content, I try to put it out as much as possible, so definitely subscribe. Also, if you really enjoyed the content, check out my Patreon. I have a link in the description below for it. You can get access to my Discord server, as well as if you're a Dragon Village M fan, account takeovers where I help you out with your account. If you're a Digimon fan, I've got monthly giveaway. Well, not even giveaways. I've got monthly merch that's specific to Patreon. Stuff like memory counters, custom made. This is the baby form of Vmon here. There's going to be more in the works also. So lots of memory counters, all kinds of awesome Digimon merch. So definitely check out that tier. And if you're just all out crazy, there's other tiers if you're that dedicated. As well as check out my Teespring. I've got awesome merch there. You know, official Battle Ready Ink merch. Awesome phone cases for you Digimon fans out there. They've got them for iPhones as well as Samsungs. So they are super sweet. If you've seen the last Digimon movie, that's where these are from. I had a friend of mine custom make these so that way they fit perfectly on these phone cases. They look super good. So definitely check those out. But at the end of the day, if you can't do any of that, just like I said, like the video. That helps a ton. And subscribe. It doesn't hurt, but it helps me. So that's what's the real benefit. And as always, I'll see you next time.